welcome back to Mixing Breakdown Room. I'm Claudia.
And I'm JVP. And welcome back to another
episode of Mixed Review. I feel like we really have our biggest growth after we met each other and we gave each other very honest feedbacks. And that's actually the whole reason of why we wanted to make this series, is we want to do the same for you.
But the bad news is we've received so much love from our subscribers submitting mixes to us to review and trusting us with their work that we need to pause accepting more mixes so that we make sure we get through all of them and give them the in-depth care and attention that they all deserve. But if you want to know when mixed reviews are back up and running, click the link in the description below to sign up for our newsletter, and we'll notify you once mixed reviews are back open. And in the meantime, there's a bunch of free mixing content that we don't post on YouTube, so that will help your mixing too. So let's break it down. Song number 1 is called Like This. I almost said Like This final mix. The final mix of Like This. All right, let's go.
Sorry, chụp cất wasting your time. Chẳng nơi về đây you wanna ride with me. Về đây chụp về những cô em nay. Up your pussy like this, like this, like this. Up your pussy like this, like this, like this.
Bro, there are kids on the channel.
Nhưng sắp rap trong bàn bài ni, like đi. Trong xã chỉ không đi vài đi, bài ni, like đi. Trong tư na buông chu nó ti, về ni, like đi. Damn girl you good, on jelly my smooth. Khô bóng lột ở lợt ca rư mình ca không thu mà stu. What should I do? Niềng ở nhầm bà room. Bong all pay rồng thuê cơp châu bông túc niềng nẹ mù. Fly with me. Sorry chụp cất wasting your time. Chẳng nơi về đây you wanna ride with me. Về đây chụp về những cô em nay.
Wow!
Nice.
How we usually do our mixed reviews is we will talk about the things that we like and we'll point out all the good things, and also we'll discuss the things that can be improved. Let's talk about the things we like about the mix.
Yes. Yeah.
Really good
Really
mix.
good.
First of all, super good balance. Professional balance. It's like the things that shouldn't be in the spotlight is not in the spotlight. I don't feel like anything is crowning. I'm vibing. Like I feel like I'm listening more than like analyzing things. I think that is already a really big win.
That's the goal of a good mix.
I really like the whole frequency response of the track. I feel like it's really full. It doesn't sound like there's a hole. To me, it sounds like, again, a very professional mix.
I think the drums are really punchy too.
Oh yeah, I love the kick.
Really nice. Yeah, especially the kick. Even the snare and like the hi-hats for this genre, they drive a lot in this style. I really like the subtle vocal effects that you put. So those are like little details that require effort and is really good.
You more my baby boo. Damn girl you good. On jelly my smooth.
I can share about the things that can be improved. I think first thing I noticed is when the male vocal comes in and it's a little big and boomy. It feels a bit detached from the song. Basically, the song started with the chorus, and the chorus with that really special effect, it really gelled into the mix.
Your pussy like this, like this, like this. Up your pussy like this, like this.
And then suddenly, somebody jumped out. Like I really literally felt like that. I think you can achieve a very in-your-face vocal without it being so detached from the music. Because I think this genre really calls for the vocal to really gel with the music.
I think the vocal is a little loud actually.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe that's part of why it sounds a little detached. I also wrote that the vocal can be more in your face, maybe a little bit more aggressive, like that kind of like saturated sandy texture that's really popular in pop music, rap. I think if the vocal is a bit more saturated, a bit more cut through, you can turn it down in volume and it'll still cut through the music. And that way you can have the vocal shine, but also not be too loud and detached. And then the last thing for me is, even though you put effects in the transition, which helps the song move along, I think you can help the song even more if the main vocal in different sections were slightly different. So let me see if I can explain better what I mean in the music. For example, in this section, you know, in most of the song, we can have that kind of dry, in-your-face, aggressive vocal.
望個獻做數愛裝。
But then when we get to this section, maybe we can switch it up by adding like a hall reverb that kind of like echoing in the back, just to give it a different feeling.
Ride with me. Sorry, took good wasting your time. Oh, you know when you wanna ride with me.
That also like fits the style, like very hip hop.
Yeah,
as well, right?
Yeah. Agree, totally agree. Next
Alrighty.
to, why is there 2 songs?
Good question. Because our brother has been working on the song for so long that he sent us 2 mixed reviews. It's a mix 10.6 and a mix 17.7.
Oh.
I had a sneak peek when I was loading the tracks in. It's a bit more energetic, compressed and brighter. And so he's already reviewed his own mix.
Yo, 捱多1年，再計劃明天。數數銀包仲有幾多錢？得返20蚊。貧窮不可憐，希望在明天，哪怕天落雨，我絕不 lonely。世界更替不斷地變遷，微笑看世界改變，微笑智慧的曲線，食粥食米，途中有你雞仔，雞仔，黑米。微笑智慧的曲線，食粥食米，路中有你㗎。耶穌我嘅乞衣朋友，耶穌我嘅知心好友，瞓天橋底，卻終不缺少米，中有你雞仔。
Wow, Jesus is King.
We went from never mind.
No, don't.
Really cool song.
Yeah,
and
I
the first
love it.
like positive note is it made me smile.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed that. So, what's good?
Okay, so my first thing that I noticed was the acoustic guitar is really good. And I think it's so easy to overlook the acoustic guitar, but it's one of those things that if you don't mix it properly, it creates a lot of problems. But when you mix it properly, no one really notices. That's what I'm trying to say. There's 2 things. In the first section, the acoustic guitar obviously is fuller. It's meant to sound really raw and like you're listening to someone play in front of you. Not much special effects like this. But then when we get to the busier sections, I can hear that you've automated or you've treated the acoustic guitar differently. You've cut a lot of the lows and like the boxy mids to make room for, you know, the bass, the vocals, the other stuff in the song. And my guess is that if you solo the acoustic guitar, it's like really thin and like doesn't sound very good. But in the context of the mix, they almost become like shakers or hi-hats. That's what it's supposed to function as.
It drives the groove.
Something like this. Mixing engineers appreciate this.
Yeah. For me, I actually really loved transitions. The transitions are so purposeful. Like after the first chorus, we both had the same reaction. Like you cut off all the reverb, the delays. It's
Clean.
So, wow, what a special moment. And I think throughout the song, you have many other like transitions or like these kind of detail into like how to manipulate the effects and everything. That makes us really enjoy from start to end. And I think that is what makes a mix from good to great. And I thought like, oh, it's over? Like that is the best.
So is there anything that can be improved?
Yes. Actually, there's a few factors that contributed the result. And the result is the vocal is a bit drowned in the music. Yeah, I can hear 不斷地變遷, but because I really like had to listen out for it. And you know, if this is not played in this setting where it's quiet and everything, if it's just playing on the phone, on the street, probably it's gone. So that's the verse. But then the chorus.
慧的曲線。
For this case, I actually think a parallel compression will help. Because you need dynamics in the vocal to be so lively, so like full of joy and emotions.
You don't want to make it super flat. A lot of the energy is in the dynamics. But then we somehow need to have consistent vocals without killing the dynamics. And that's where parallel compression comes in.
And I think that is something you can try. You will somehow get to a point where in the verse, it sits well, and in the chorus, it won't jump out. I feel like the kick and the bass, the relationship between them is a bit like fighting. The kick is quite low in the sub, so is the bass. But I feel like you need to choose around 100 hertz. I feel like that is the area where the bass should be, but the kick took over it.
微笑看世界改變，微笑智慧的曲線。
I think it can be compressed a bit harder.
Yeah, and I think it can be... Watch our low-end video. Okay, next. Well done, really good stuff. Put a smile on our faces. 辛苦晒14.7 add oil.
I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of our comments revolve around the vocals. And it's no surprise because vocals are the most important part of a song. A lot of times it's the only thing some people listen to. But it's also the hardest to mix because it's so dynamic. Every vocal is different.
That's why we've compiled a 4-step vocal mixing guide for you. It is the same chain that we use to mix vocals as well. Click on the link in the description box below.
All right, so the last song... No, don't be so lame.
It's by Sifo. It's called Two Can Play That Game.
For the first time in the studio, I thought you'd be the piece that I needed, but you wasn't. I wonder how the hell I couldn't see that when you said you love me too. You wanted to play with my feelings. I want my heart back, now we less. Uphumuyeka mavuse ebusuku ngishiye ngilele. Mangizama ukukhuluma nawe wena uvela ungihleke. Mawuva tshwalo nyalo kuwe sengiphuma ngiyaphela.
Take me up high to the sky. Oh boy, baby.
Oh.
Yo, bro, you didn't finish exporting the song. No, but really good vibe. I really love. Wow. Today's like...
Yeah, everyone's super good.
So I have one good thing to say.
Only one?
No, as in like checks all the boxes. Vibe check.
Passes the vibe check. Like as I was listening, I'm just
Also, you know what really helped is his groove is so good. Good musicians is always like...
It's like something you can't like edit out.
Yeah, you can't edit this kind of
Yeah,
real.
Can feel it. I don't know if you're the producer, arranger, but the sound choices are super cool as well. I really like the subtle ambience behind the main male vocal. I know you wanted to keep him really close, storytelling, but you don't really want the vocal to be completely dry because it's kind of awkward. I can hear the really short reverbs or maybe use like short delays. Like that works perfect.
What kind of love got me feeling so down? Got me looking in the mirror like, do I look right? But that's my wardrobe say.
I'm not sure if it's every time the female vocal comes in, but specifically the end, because she kind of gets a solo, I feel like it's a little bit harsh. I feel like the female vocal also gives like a contrast to the aggressive male vocal. It can be warmer and rounder. Right now it's...
Take me up high to the sky.
This is more of a preference thing, but I really do think this change would make the feeling even better.
Yeah, agreed. Going along with what you're saying for this part, there's a part where the female vocal and the male rapper actually overlapped. I like that she went from like reverby wet and then to like dry. I think that's very purposeful.
Two can't play that game. I blame you, you blame me. What does all that say? What does all that say?
But right now, is really fighting. So I can hear some sort of side chaining going on.
Or like a drastic volume automation.
Yeah, and I think there is a way to make this separation more subtle, like not so obvious. Because right now it's pretty obvious that, you know what I mean? Like the moment he starts rapping, she's like, ugh. So like, I think other than using side chaining, don't rely on just one thing. You can also think about frequency separation. Like, I think just by having the female vocal rounder and warmer, that's already a separation because you're taking up different parts of the frequency response. And you can also think about depth. So like, even though the female vocal has reverb, she doesn't sound that far back. I think you can think about depth, putting her further back first for this section. You finish rapping, then she comes back in. One last thing is, in general, I feel like the rap is a bit loud.
Remember when I saw you for the first time in the studio? I thought you'd be the piece that I needed, but you wasn't. I wonder how the hell I couldn't see that when you said you love me too.
Yeah, I think just having the vocal slightly softer, or just figure a way out to make the vocal gel with the music a
Yeah,
little
because you already did so well to help it cut through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't need that volume to make it cut through already. Like, frequency-wise, has so much space. Feel free to like turn it down. It will glue way more. Nice, really nice mix. Well done, everyone. We're happy to always do these mix reviews.
They always surprise us how good they are. Once again, thank you so much for everyone who submitted a mix. And we will get to the ones that have been submitted. We won't forget about you. So thank you for your patience. And remember, if you want your mix reviewed in the future, click the link in the description below to sign up for our newsletter, and we'll let you know when mixed reviews are back up and running again.
We hope you enjoyed this video. Like this video if it has helped you. Share with your friends if they need some mixed reviews as well, maybe in the future. And subscribe for more mixing content, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.